It's May 27th, 2018, the day of the Monaco Grand Prix in Formula One. The day before, Charles Leclerc, the only Monegasque Formula One driver currently, qualifies P14, a relatively good position, especially in his rookie season at his first home race in a Sauber. However, he would be involved in a crash while in P12 with less than 10 laps remaining. However, this is just the beginning of the story of Charles Leclerc. But first, we need to go back to the beginning of his racing career, where he skipped a day of school to go to the Bianchi family karting track, where he met his godfather, Jules Bianchi. This would help him get into karting, where he would get his first championship at just 8 years old. His godfather, Jules Bianchi, would make it into F1 in 2013. He would get Marussia's only points in 2014. But it would all come to a sudden stop at the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix, where he would be involved in a crash which would put him in a coma that would end up killing him a year later. Moving on from that rather sad event, Leclerc would continue to be successful in karting, which would help him get the eyes of the Ferrari Driver Academy in 2016. He would get a championship in GP3 in 2016 and another in F2 in 2017. However, that Formula 2 championship would be overshadowed by his father, Hervé, passing away due to cancer that year. A year before, in 2016, he would get P18 in his first free practice session in the 2016 British Grand Prix. In 2018, he would get a seat with Alfa Romeo Sauber and would go on to make his first Formula One Grand Prix start in Melbourne, getting a decent result with P13, and would go on to get his first points in Azerbaijan with a great P6 finish in his rookie season. And at the end of the season, it would be a pretty good finish for him in the championship with 13th with 39 points. However, next season would be even bigger, as in just his second Formula One season, he moved to the most historic team in Formula One, Ferrari. In just his second start with the Scuderia, he would get a pole position and go down to P2 in the race at Bahrain. At his second home race in Monaco, he would qualify P15, and during a comeback drive, he would crash in the race. After that, however, we have to go to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium later that season. Before we get to the F1 race, we need to focus on the F2 race, where in a violent crash, Antoine Hubert, an upcoming star in Formula 2, would get caught up in it and be killed. This crash gave everybody heavy hearts for the race coming up the same weekend, especially those close to him, such as Leclerc, who had grown up karting with him. That weekend, he would get pole position in qualifying and would follow it up with his first ever Formula One win. The next week at Monza, the home of Ferrari, he would continue with another pole and another win. This season was proof he could compete in Formula One. However, next season wasn't the best, as Ferrari had a horrible car. Well, not horrible, but uncompetitive most of the time, as he only got 2 podiums. Next year, in 2021, he would have a better car, consistently getting close to the podium, but only 1 single podium. But after the regulation changes, which had a overhaul on the cars in 2022, he would finally have a chance at the title. The season would start with 2 wins and 1 podium in the first 3 races. He would lead the championship until the Spanish Grand Prix, where he would lose power in the middle of the race. And sadly, his title hopes would be absolutely destroyed when Max Verstappen turned on the Jets and claimed the record for most wins in an F1 season after that. 2023 would see complete Red Bull dominance, where they only had 1 race without a win in Singapore, where Leclerc's teammate Carlos Sainz would claim his second career Formula One win. Next season in 2024 was more of Red Bull dominance until mid-season they would kind of lose their speed and other teams would catch up, such as McLaren and Ferrari. Leclerc would claim 3 wins for himself this season, but first we need to go back to Monaco. His entire career at this race, he had some sort of misfortune. 2019, in a comeback drive, he crashed. 2021, he would claim pole, but after a crash in qualifying, he couldn't start the race. In 2022, he was dominating the race in changing weather conditions until his team decided to put him on the wrong tire compound, which led to him getting a P4 finish. However, this race, he would qualify on pole, keep the lead for the entire race, and for this, I'll just have to show the final lap.
His career was finished without the intervention of the late Jules Bianchi, who said to Ferrari, you've got to take this guy. You've got to make sure that he gets to Formula One. And what a gift that was to give. In 2017, Charles Leclerc lost his father, and in his final days, he told his father a white lie, that he'd made it to Formula One, that he'd signed the contract. It wasn't true then, but his driving has made it true now.
È un boato, Monaco, la piscina, l'uscita, l'ultima volta, la rascazza in salita, a casa tua, Charles, a casa tua, Charles, a casa tua, Charles.
Gemini has survived. I wasn't supposed to make it past 25.
Finally!
Wondering where the dog gonna say hi. I'm looking at the judge in the night sky, and you wondering where's God in your nightlife. Yeah, you look